Hello everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook layout. Today I am doing something a little different. Well, I guess it's not different because I did just do a single page for the monthly video hop that we do, but that was a sketch by Laura Whitaker that I'm going to be following, so I thought I would show you. It is on her, I don't know if it's available anymore to be honest, but I am doing one thing. I'm using up my Felicity Jane London kit, like I mentioned, and I did get this kit killed. I'm so happy. You will see. I think there's one video that I didn't record because I had my card, which I've discovered I need to buy a new card, but the card that, you know, goes in the camera to save all the videos, to record the videos, it was downloading everything onto my computer. Anyways, I think I should take a moment here and tell you that my cat is very excited that I am back to recording voiceovers. So he is going crazy around the house. So you might hear him running back and forth through our living room, dining room area. Just so you know. I'm using the Felicity Jane London kit, which I killed. So like I said, there is one video, one layout. I will show you that, I think, in a separate video. I am disappointed because I think that I lost some footage, and I had originally planned on videotaping this, so I used it on a few layouts, and then it got down to just scraps, and I was going to show you. I used them in my daily life albums, like I mentioned before I do with my scraps nowadays, and I think I might have lost that footage. I don't know. I'm not happy. Let's just say that. So I think I have lost probably about half of what was supposed to download, didn't download. So it's my computer. I don't know if it's my SanDisk card, whatever you call those cards. If you can't tell by now, I have absolutely no idea any kind of technical lingo whatsoever. That is not my forte. The fact that I can make these videos even is pretty surprising to everybody in my family, including myself. But I liked this layout or this sketch because of the circles, and I don't hardly use circles, and most of it's because I don't have the best of circle cutters. I do have that one. It's by EK Success, and I don't think it's available anymore. I do like it. The first time you saw me cut the blue one, it didn't cut very well, but that was user error, not the cutter. I just didn't push hard enough, because then the next time I did it, I had no problems when I used the gray. And one thing about Felicity Jane kits, as much as I love their kits, for some reason I feel like I can only get single pages out of them, and I know I can do double pages. It just seems like I cut into the papers once, and then there's not really enough to do double pages unless I have a ton of photos. So I think that's why I don't use them as often as I used to. I do tend to do more double pages nowadays, although I love my single pages. I don't have a problem doing a single page, you know, like this picture of my daughter. It was the only picture I had of her. It's her cute hair, which I ended up not even writing about, I don't think, but you know, I liked this picture, so I wanted to get it scrapbooked, and I don't have any more, so I'm okay doing the occasional single page. So definitely that's one thing I've noticed about my Felicity Jane kits. However, I do really love using them in my daily life projects. I don't know what it is about her kits compared to anything else, but I enjoy using her kits with my daily life albums so much. This piece here, I did bring it out, so I've already done the layout with my daughter, you know, the sparkle layout for the monthly hop, where she is, oh, hang on, for really quick here, I'm going to talk about the layout for a second. I decided to try something a little different. Oh, there was a little mark. That's right. I'm sorry. I recorded a bunch in one day, and it's been quite a few days since I've done this. So, what I was saying, okay, let me go back. What I was starting to say was that gray paper is one I pulled in so that I could use it on that sparkle layout with my daughter on the color guard. And then what I decided is I wanted to play. So on the sketch itself, there's some cluster areas. I looked at the sketch, and it was kind of kind of looked like mixed media, like rough, anything. It could have been anything. So I thought, I haven't used my pastes in a while, and I have used them once in a video before, and I did get a few questions about them. So I will say, this is just plain white cardstock. It's either white cardstock from Close to My Heart or just the white cardstock from Michaels. If it's on sale, they're 12 by 12 packs. I love the Close to My Heart white cardstock. It's my favorite. But however, it is getting more expensive, let's just be honest. So sometimes the white cardstock at Michaels goes on sale and I'll pick up a pack, but I do not like it nearly as much. So I have not prepped this paper. I am not doing anything. I've used modeling this paste, different kinds of these pastes. I don't know what the correct term is. Some is modeling paste. I will show you the bottle here in just a second. Right there, modeling cream. That was a lot of fun to try to say. This is some of my favorite of this stuff because this stuff dries. It actually can be a little troublesome. If you want to try modeling paste, but you don't like waiting around for stuff to dry, this is probably one. Of course, okay, let me, full disclosure, I haven't tried a lot of newer kinds. There's a whole bunch of brands of modeling paste and glitter paste and this kind of paste. There's tons of them out there, but this stuff is shiny, and you can see in the end photos how pretty this stuff turns out to be. And it's, by the time I was done doing all of them, it was already drying on my stencil. It's a little bit troublesome in that fact. So, but you can see here, I have just a moment right after I put it down. For some reason, I still, even though I covered it with washi tape, I still got it in a couple places. I love this stuff. It's so pretty. It just gives like this little bit of dimension. I make mine pretty flat, so I know you can use some of these pastes and, you know, make it really dimensional, or, you know, piled up, or, you know, not scrape it off. After I place it down, I rub it all over the part of the stencil that I want to show through, and then I will take my spatula or whatever that little tool is right there, and I will go over it so it's flat. I love the dimensional look, but, you know, for layouts, I don't need a ton. I just want the little bit of shiny. But look at that gorgeous flower. And it just, the other thing about paste that is a little bit frustrating is if you don't know where you want your clusters to begin with, then you might want to do the paste after you've already started your clusters. But if you already have dimension or something like popped up on foam tape, it's not so easy to work with, but you can still make it work. So I'm going to do these three. There's three different areas, and I follow the sketch pretty closely on this one, and I'm going to add one up into this corner, and I'm just taking it and adding. There is some parts of this modeling paste that is dried along the top, because, you know, you can use whatever's on there and then put it back into the bottle, but some of that has dried over time. I've had this bottle for a couple years now, for quite a while, so I've actually had these for a long time. Like I said, the newer modeling paste I have not purchased in quite a while. So I don't know if there's really much difference to the newer brands or anything like that, but I know I like this brand. And I really like the colors because it's this is like Mother of Pearl, maybe might be the name of this one. And it's just like this, it's not white, it's not cream, and it's not sparkly. So it's kind of like a mother of pearl, I guess. So I really, really like this one, and it goes perfectly with the colors of this Felicity Jane kit. And here comes my cat again. So I am going to ink all my edges with this kit, and I believe I used my gray wool Close to My Heart ink for the entire kit. And like I was mentioning earlier, I think I might have lost some footage for you guys. I'm so not happy. I'm avoiding looking. I'm just going to do a bunch of voiceovers, and when I come to trying to find that, if it's there, I'll be happy. If not, I might cry. I think, you know, for us YouTubers, we have to take the time to learn our, you know, the software that we use for making videos. It's not just plop it on your computer, say a few words, and, you know, you're done. You have to learn how, like, I've never learned how to do music. I'm a little bit afraid with that because I know that YouTube, you know, there's all these rules with what kind of music you can and can't use and blah, blah, blah. But There's the slowing down, there's the speeding up, there's the animations. I've never learned how to do the picture-in-picture. I've thought about trying that. I've looked it up. I just haven't taken the time. But the voiceovers is another huge one. And my computer's getting old, and so I think it's quite possible I might need a new computer. But the software that I use, although I just found out from Nicole that she thinks there's a way to still download it onto Windows 10, but as far as I know, the software that I use right now, it's called Windows Video Movie Maker. And from what I've heard until just a few minutes ago talking to Nicole, it's not available to download on Windows 10. So if I get a new computer, I don't know what I'm going to do. But that also means that I've possibly lost a bunch of footage, and I'm so not happy. So I will tell you, back to the layout here. I did take, so even on Laura Whitaker's sketch, she had like this, it looked kind of like a stitch line, but I don't really know. I think it could be anything. From the look of her sketches, she kind of just gives a representation of something, like where I put the modeling paste. Like something should go there, but it could be anything. And so I kind of got the feel of these stitched lines. And so I used just that gray, I think that's a Stedler pen. I'm not really sure. It's like a lighter gray. And I made some stitched lines on that yellow border. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that heart border. When I first laid the strips down, I had it lined up so I could use that heart border that you can see to the left of the screen. And then when I went to put everything down, I started gluing them down wrong or something, and I couldn't get that heart border to work. And I was bummed about that because I really liked all the colors that it brought in. So this is pretty much how the layout's going. I'm going to try to do this heart border up here in this top cluster. I put that paste up there because I knew that there was going to be a cluster up there, and I love the way this layout turns out. I'm so happy with it. This is just a cute photo. I was going to do my titling something because she had just gotten her hair done in this picture, and I am going to end up deciding that, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if my cats are being noisy. I so hope not. But I was going to do something about her new hair, but I decided, you know what, I don't really need to journal that she got this new haircut and blah, 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 blah. It's just a cute photo. And I was looking around at different things that I wanted to add. Laura Whitaker also had a tag sticking out where you can see I have that kind of black with the yellow center tag. And so I put that there. You know, I don't use tags real easily, so I wanted to leave it there. But I decided I didn't like that color. This tag is actually going to cause me a little bit of issues, but I get it fixed. So I put the tag there, and then I put that word happy, which was part, these are all pieces of the ephemera from this kit. And some of it you had to fussy cut yourself. When she first went to adding ephemera into her kits, you had to cut them out. They're like on these double-sided sticker sheets, which are driving me nuts, by the way. But you had to fussy cut out all the stuff, and it was no problem. I didn't mind that so much. But I decided to try it. So I've talked, a lot of people put their stuff on wax paper. You've seen me, I put my embellishments on white cardstock, but I've seen Lisa in her videos lately using them like the die cuts on a page protector, and I thought, you know what, that might save having to use my cardstock, even though I reuse the same one. Once I use all the die cut pieces off of it, I will put it, you know, I will reuse that same cardstock for my more die cuts, but the cardstock does get torn a little bit. So I'm trying out this page protector method, and it's just a page protector generic. I don't even know the name brand. I love it. It works great. So I know Nicole uses the backings of sticker sheets. I think that's what she uses for her stickers, but in my area, I don't know what it is about my area. I must just have a lot of humidity or something where I live or in my house, because my stickers, once I take them off a sticker sheet, they don't stick back to that sticker sheet for nothing. It's kind of weird, but so I have all of them on there, and I like having them this way. So it saves the cardstock, and that's a used piece of cardstock in that page protector. So by the time I'm done with this kit, I have like 3/4 of one side of that page protector done, so, or filled with the ephemera. So that was nice. For the cluster up above, I just went ahead and added one of those tags with the hearts. I felt like that way I could kind of get that heart strip on there, even though it wasn't the actual strip itself. And then that little love you, I fussy cut. So when she has her fussy cut pieces, there, like the love you was connected with like a circle, I think, around it. Like you can see on the very left hand side of the screen, that hello is like a speech bubble shape. But I decided I probably wouldn't use the love you. I can't even remember what shape was around it, but I wanted to go ahead and just fussy cut out the word love you. And all this stuff I just took when me and my husband were watching TV one night, and I just fussy cut it out while we were watching TV. It really didn't take very long at all. Some of these shapes, like these little circles and stuff, I just saved so I could use my punches, because I don't know about you, but if I try to hand cut a circle, it doesn't matter. It's going to look wonky and messed up, and it's going to drive me nuts. So I am going to take this love you, and I'm going to add some foam tape behind it. And I wanted to give it a little bit dimension, because that word happy is a chipboard piece, and so it's got a little bit of dimension behind it. So I thought it would probably look good if I put a little dimension behind the word love you. And originally I went through and added, these are little tiny, spots, so I have to kind of cut down my foam tape quite a bit. And I'm going to do it with the word you as well, but then when I go to put it down, it's like almost too much dimension. So I am going to just go ahead, and luckily I didn't have to peel off all of the foam tape, because it's one of those ones that has it's like the sticker, so I can just peel off the backing. So a little bit of waste of foam tape, but I'm not that worried about it. And I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. I tried to use that bow that is it was one of the ones I fussy cut. There's a couple of them. You can see this pink one here. And I really liked those bows. They were super cute, but I just wasn't feeling them. I don't know. It was like they were too big, or I couldn't get them to work. And so in a minute here, you're going to see, and I'm just kind of looking, I'm kind of like slowing down at this point where, okay, what else do I have that I can add? I want to add a little more, but I don't like that, and I don't like that. So I'm just kind of adding a few things here and there, but I'm going to get out a punch here in a moment, and this is a punch I've had for quite a while. It's one of those bow punches that I think people are finding them at Tuesday Morning right now. To be honest, I'm not really sure, because it is an older bow kit. Oh, that's before I get the bow punch out. I had these bows that I picked up Tuesday Morning. It was a pack of like these silver and black bows, and I thought I would try one of those. And because in this little drawer there's these clips as well, so I thought I would try some of these. And these are old clips. I've had these for years, these circle ones. I love them, so I don't want to get rid of them, but I struggle with how to get them on layouts and looking okay, so they don't look funny. So I'm going to kind of temporarily put these in 3 different areas on the layout, and I'm actually going to end up leaving them on there. I really like the way that it turns out with them on there. I had to wipe my hands because I went to throw something away in the garbage, and the modeling paste that I had taken that was kind of crunchy, it was in the garbage. So sorry about that. But here's the bow punch I was mentioning, and I'm just looking now for pieces of paper. I didn't really want to punch into a huge, larger size a piece of paper. I thought maybe I could make one out of that border strip. That would have been really cute, but that border strip was just the teeniest bit too small. So I was going to do a different one. I was going to do this color here. So this is kind of yellowish on the inside, and then it is like a pink stripe on the back. But one thing I've noticed about this layout is that none of the patterns repeat on this layout. So sometimes you'll have a pattern paper on a layout, and you'll use it maybe over here on the right and over here on the left, but I've noticed none of the papers, like I said, or even the elements repeat. So when you went to make the bow, it's the same pattern as that top banner that's coming out by the photo. And I thought, I don't know, I didn't want to do that, because it just looked a little off to me. So I went ahead and I put that to the side, and I am going to use that in the future, so it's not going to go to the waste. But so I just cut out this pink one instead, and I used that 3x4 card, the bottom of it, just so I didn't have to cut into a full sheet of the pink solid paper and waste just a little corner, when I had this small little 3 3x4 card, which either way it worked out. So I'm going to just put this together, and I do use glue dots because, first of all, I feel like wet glue can sometimes make a mess when you're dealing with something so tiny, but also because the glue dot really holds it like strong. So so I use glue dots when I'm using this little punch. And then I'm just taking my little quick picks tool, and I take it around the bows, and I just kind of roll it so that it gives the bow some kind of extra shape, the rounded shape. And I know it's going to get a little bit squished in the page protector, but because it is under that word happy, which is chipboard, so it's thicker itself, it's not going to get completely squished, so it will keep some dimension. At least I can hope, right? So at this point I decided I did like those clips. Well, the one I really liked was the one on the left hand side of the photo, and so I did add a little piece of glue. I just took a glue dot and kind of tucked it underneath the photo where the clip goes behind the photo so that it won't move, and I'm going to do that with each area. And so I just kind of found a spot for this one to go, and then I'm going to take my little pokey tool, and that's what I'm using to transfer the glue dots. And then I realized this one just went on the back of the layout, so I'm just going to use some Scrappy Tape to glue that down. And that works too, because I'm also going to mount this layout on another, with a frame. I never know what to call that. Is that mounting the layout? Is it framing the layout? Let me know below how I should phrase that when I talk about it, because I talk about it all the time, because I do this all the time, but I never know what the correct phrase is. I'm just going through here picking out which paper I like the best. I believe I go with that light blue, and I love it. The blues in this collection are just so pretty. If you know me, you know that blue is my favorite color. So what I really liked is this, again, was not a repeating pattern, but it still went with the blue that was around the circle, and it just picked up really well with the picture and all that as well. And I'm going to gut this because I decided this is such a pretty blue, and it's kind of the only blue. There's a lot of pinks. As far as the pattern paper goes, there's a lot of pinks. And as far as the embellishments go, a lot of pinks, but there's some yellows and some blues in there as well, but there's just not a lot of really blue pattern paper, if that makes sense, or blue paper. So that is why I gutted this one. Normally with a solid piece of paper I wouldn't mind or pay much attention to, but I am glad that I did it with this one. So I'm using my Scrappy Tape idea, and I'm sorry, it looks like I'm kind of more towards the bottom of the frame of this layout. I need to really pay attention to that a little more. But I am going to use my little Scrappy Tape idea where I just put one side down and then easily pick up the other sides to glue it down. And that is how I get my layout straight. So if you are new here and have not seen me do that before, that is a great idea. And I just used my thin scrap tape because I knew I was going to use this washi tape. This washi tape came with the kit. Felicity Jane almost always had a roll of washi tape with her kits. And sometimes I use it with the kit, sometimes not. Otherwise, you guys know me, I'm not a washi tape fan. So it worked. This is how I use it. It's to tape things down for when I'm die cutting or anything else like that. So I felt like the layout needed just something more, and so I'm going to go through my enamel dot storage, and I'm going to pick out, I found this really light pink enamel dot. It's the row on the very left hand side of that little sheet I pulled out. And then I saw these, and these are by Queen & Company. I don't know if these are available anymore. They're Petite Posies. They are really tiny, kind of little sparkly. I thought that would go really well with the modeling paste, so I liked that. And then I'm trying to think of something kind of more, I didn't really want to do blue, but I'm also trying to pull out possibly the yellows kind of on the layout because there is a little bit of yellow here and there. So I found this sheet with this yellow sheet or yellow strip of enamel dots that would go really well. So I'm going to play around with those. The one thing that's bugging me the most is that tag. So that tag was just fussy cut out of paper, and when I pulled the backing sheet to put it down, to glue it down, it's kind of see-through-ish. You can't really see probably in the video. I don't know how well you can see it, but I am going to struggle because I didn't poke a hole in that, and those stickers, once you put those down, they do not come up very easily. So I am going to play around, and you can see in the still shot photos how I figure out a solution for that. And now I'm just going through and putting down some of these enamel dots, and I really like, I think one cluster I put 3 and then maybe 2 in different clusters, because it already had, so in this left cluster it already had that circle sticker, and the top right cluster it already had a circle sticker, so I didn't feel like I needed 3 in each of those. I am just adding a little bit of adhesive for these Petite Posies by Queen & Company, because they are self-adhesive but they don't stay in place, so just an FYI, at least again in my area. So here you can see, look at that modeling paste. Oh, I did add some sparkly splatters too at the end, and it just really finished off this layout. So thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this layout and love how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. See you next time. Bye.